we don't have the time or the money to do this big marketplace scene.
Right.
So there was a lot of talk about, is there any way we could put this in the Ludus somewhere? I'm like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And again, Rob Tappert and the crew, they figured out a way to do it, and it looked fantastic.
It went from 11 episodes to 10. That's probably how
Oh yeah, that might be it. There you go. There's where your other episode went.
Some money around.
This season is sort of like Rebels versus Romans. How far is Spartacus willing to go to get revenge?
Oh, he's willing to go all the way. I think you see that in the first episode.
Yeah.
That he's willing to risk everything for his vengeance. And that's one of the things we wanted to play with. There was a lot of talk about should the subtitle be vengeance because it's such a negative emotion and such a negative thing.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
I liked it because it covers everybody's out for vengeance. But
Right.
part of the thing is that with Spartacus, this drive to kill Gaius Claudius Glaber leads him down a very bad path. And,
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a
has
real
to
big
correct
discovery
it.
in this season
Yes.
because he, like the third survival says, he's suddenly going to be the guy that commands
Right.
a rebel army, and he's not that guy at the start of the show.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, and part of that story of vengeance, because it is kind of singular and not selfish, but very internal. He's got a difficult path to try and almost find a way out of that vengeance in some respects.
Right. Let's see. The next question is for you, Liam. It's here's a topic many guys were asking about. Jeff Ledia asks, how much time is involved in working out just to stay in shape for the role? And Conway Wilson Jr. asks, is there a certain name to the training you guys received, and could you point me to the direction of that method and the foods you have to eat? Basically, guys want to look like gladiators. How do they look like
The method
gladiators?
is called hell, and you have to go through the gates to get there.
The trainer is Lucifer.
Yeah.
No, he calls himself Alan Poppleton on the
Oh
side.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was the magazine that did the gladiator workout?
Oh, Men's Health?
Men's Health.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, you know what I find fascinating? There's a lot of Spartacus workouts that when I was trying to do it back in the day. But no, for me, I come from a unique position because when I was trying out for this role, I was like Skeletor. Hey, man.
You looked a little gone.
Yeah, I was. I did. Have a sandwich.
I hope on the DVD that they include your
I hope
your
they do
screen
not
test,
have
just
any
so
of
we could do a little comparison.
Not fine with it. We'll talk contracts. All right. No, I was like 45 pounds, was like 22 kilos less, and it wasn't cool. So I had to eat every chicken in Australia, and do hypertrophy training 4 or 5 times a week, and then we went into I got taken to a military trainer, Mark Wickham, and the stunt guy, the head of stunts, Alan Poppleton, I believe. I was told later, he said, see where he breaks, and you can too, kids at home. I had to do all kinds of things, but probably the best way to do a traditional sort of Spartacus workout is the circuit training they get us to do in the months leading up to the shooting, which is relays and lots of sort of middle weights till
non-stop.
High cardio, high intensity, high weights, pain-filled agony.
And like how many hours a day is that?
During boot camp, it's probably 2 to 3 hours of training, plus another hour of skills training or 2 hours of skills training. So it's a pretty big day.
My favorite part of you having to bulk up for the show was I would get weekly updates about he weighs this much now, his biceps are this big, his chest is this big,
was
his
like a pet
thighs
fish or
are this
something.
big, and I'd get pictures. It was awesome. For me.
Made a scrapbook.
I just
for
felt
you.
like a piece of meat, but it's worth it, right? But I mean, training's cool like that because it's one of the few things in the world where, as an actor, it's such a subjective job,
Right.
And so you don't know if you're doing a good job. You just sort of go, "That felt okay." Whereas at least with training, you do 4 weeks of horribleness, and you look in the mirror and you go, "Oh, things are happening." So it's a nice kind of certainty in a world of uncertainty.
It's interesting. One thing about the gladiator physique. I was reading online. You said that in ancient Rome, that having body hair was considered barbaric, and so the whole manscaped look of the show. I always thought that they're doing that for TV, but that's actually based on.
Well, it's partly for TV because does anybody want to see furry Liam?
I got some Eastern European style body hair going on.
Yeah. So the Romans considered it barbaric. That's why you don't see the Roman men with beards. And I was shocked to find out in my research that the Romans had waxing and they had pluckers. So basically, they want it to be as close to hairless as possible, because they did think it was barbaric.
Yeah, and they actually oiled gladiators down as well. That was
Yeah.
that was cheaper than showers.
They would oil them and scrape the dirt off them.
Women obviously weren't having Brazilians, though.
Well, they hadn't
Yeah,
found Brazil then.
actually,
They hadn't found Brazil, so it was called something else.
No, I mean,
Well, right.
yeah, the women were waxed and plucked. That's something that's actually wrong on our
That's
show.
inaccurate.
Historically, the merkins are actually historically incorrect. The merkin is the pubic wig.
Is
we
that
use.
so?
Yes. Yes, the women in Rome were plucked and waxed.
Well, I'm glad we went there.
Yeah, there you go.